Hey family, let me get my earpiece in real quick. Just give me a minute. I'm out here in the garage so I can have a little peace and quiet. Won't be too distracted by my little queen. Just give me a minute. All right. Check out my little logo. This is for my backup channel. Isn't that cool or what? Anyway, you know what? I think I'm going to just, instead of me sitting in here, I'm going to just be on the outside. It's too dark in there. So anyway, I hope all is well with your family. As you see your sister, I'm doing just fine. One thing about this quarantine, well, hold on. Let me give honor what honor's due. I give all honor to the Most High God, source of all things, source within. Now, that being said, one thing about this quarantine, it's like, for me, I mean, I know everybody's seeing it in all kind of ways and really in a negative way due to what's going on, but I choose to see it as a positive. One thing about it, for me, okay, this is a time that I've been doing a lot of reflecting, okay, and as far as, looking at my life and trying to, I've been talking to, source God that is divine, that is within me, having these quiet times, just trying to figure out, okay, what do you want me to do? Where am I to go from here? Just pretty much spending this time right here, this still time of reflecting and being still, because when we're so distracted, many of you know when you're so distracted and you're being pulled from to the right, you're being pulled from the left, and then, the powers that be is trying to distract Most High God children anyway, trying to keep us from, being still and to really hear, his voice, or her voice, however you choose to view source. But you can't really hear the voice, the still voice, when you're so distracted and you got a lot coming at you. It's hard to really hear, but I've been taking this time to look at it as a positive, using it to meditate more and not go as long as I normally do, because really I can go an hour, at least an hour or a little over, but just small meditations, just maybe 15 or 20 minutes, just being still, be in the present, because due to what's going on, it can really have you so, feeling some type of way. And if you have many people feeling anxious, even some people, they're feeling scared, and for others, they're worrying, they think about their children, their family, and, it's like, what now? But all of this, takes you from being still. It takes you from focusing on yourself because you're so busy worried about the cares of this world. So as I stated, I choose to take this time to just be still and get focused and not be so distracted and focus on myself. And, just try to be in a state of gratitude no matter what. I know it's not easy, but I try to be in a state of gratitude, and just talk to source, talk to the divine that is within me, and just, the best part about talking to source, you just be yourself, you just talk however you talk, because, God knows anyway, but, you just having these talks, trying to get an idea, okay, where do I go from here? What do you want me to do? We need to have these talks, asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking it shall be open. This is a time to really get still and, be present. Just be present. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about, a week from now, a month from now, because none of it is promised to us. Even though we're dealing with timelines, be in the now, be present, and be in a state of gratitude. The powers that be is trying to keep us from being still, from being present, okay? And like I said, a lot of people are seeing this, what's going on for, they're seeing it in all kind of ways, but I choose to see it as a positive. This is time I can really be present and be still. And definitely, I don't have to make excuses. Oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. I don't have time to meditate. No, now family, you got time. You got time, cuz. You got time, all right? You got time now to meditate and have that connection with source, you know? And most importantly, find out whose you are. Many of you can just really go in the mirror, The eyes are the windows to our soul. You can go in the mirror and talk to yourself, by staring, at yourself. You can look here or just stare at your eyes and talk to yourself. Speak life over yourself. Don't speak on the things that's bothering you. You don't do that. Don't speak on the things that's bothering you. Speak on what you are believing for. Speak life over yourself. Say, I'm victorious. I'm power, love, and sound mind. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. You have to speak this because our words are energy. Speak it, and so shall it be for you. I used to do that. I will always be thinking about things that I don't want. And when I do that, I manifest more of that which I don't want. So that goes to show you the power of a spoken word. Speak life. Even if you're not really seeing that what you are speaking, please know it's going to manifest. But it might manifest in other ways, but you're going to see it, okay? Because our words is vibration and it's energy as well. And this box, this matrix that we're in, that's what really shapes our reality, by what we see, what we take in with our eye gate as well as our ear gate. All of this affects us, but it's what you choose to accept. It's what you choose to believe at the end of the day. And I choose to believe that I am victorious and I shall overcome. And basically by me saying I'm victorious, I've overcome already. I just have to walk this thing out, if you feel me. But anyway, this time right here, I just see it as a positive. Earth Gaia is getting a break. A lot of people who work in these 9 to 5 jobs, 8 or 10 or 12 hours, they're getting a break now. And now they have time. They have time to spend with source. They have time to, pray and meditate. They have time now. It ain't no excuse, And plus, they're home with their loved ones. They spend more time with their children. You feel me? They have time now to really go outside every day and plant their feet and sun gate if they choose to. But now everybody have time. It's what you do with the time that you have. That's why I say we all need to be still and be present. And stop worrying about tomorrow, but be in the now. Because what's going to happen tomorrow, it all determines in how you move in the now. Okay? It's how we move in the now that determines our tomorrow. So, like I said, speak life over yourself, because that's what I'm doing. I'm speaking life over myself. And I'm thinking about the things that I'm believing for and what I want and how I choose to see my reality. Okay? I'm not focusing on what I don't want. And I'm not focusing on the negative. I'm focusing on the positive. So this is a wonderful time, Like I said, Earth Gaia is getting a break. A lot of these people who work in these factories and these plants, these jobs to where they're pumping out all of this poison into the atmosphere, a lot of these jobs are shut down for right now. Most of them. That's why the air is so fresh. You go outside, it's so fresh now, And, Mother Nature, she can heal herself anyway, but she's getting a break, And I heard somebody say this, and I'm going to share it with many of you. When we say we love ourselves, we love Earth Gaia because we still, we're part of her. We're in these physical containers. We're part of Earth Gaia. And we can't say that we love Earth Gaia when we're not taking care of ourselves. That's why I say, do the right thing, family. Do your best. Drink plenty of water. Flush out these toxins, that we take in every day. Even the toxins that we breathe, flush it out with water, and do your best to get plenty of veggie and fruits in you. Anything from the earth, fruit, nuts, and berries, do your best to try to get it in you, because all of this really helps our body, It really helps our bodies. And it also, when you eat right, of course, all of this helps raise our vibration as well. This one sister had asked me a while back, about, what do I eat? Let me say this real quick, and it's okay to agree to disagree, because I had this conversation with a family member of mine. We didn't have this conversation, but we had another conversation, and I might speak about that briefly. But my understanding of it, to eat healthy, yes, it is good for us to eat healthy, but a lot of us are in different stages when it comes to our eating habits. A lot of us still eat meats, okay, but where I am, I don't judge nobody, okay? This helps me as far as raising my vibration, because I spend more time judging you. I'm not taking the time to get to know you, nor am I taking the time to love you, okay, as a person, because I'm too busy pointing fingers at you, okay? Me focusing on myself and working on my shadow self, all right, helps me, and it heals me to where I'm not focusing on you, okay? And many people are not focusing on, working on their shadow self. They want to put their shadow self on the back burner, but that's something that we should really, really work on. But getting back to what I was saying, yes, we should eat healthy. Yes, we should eat live foods anyway. There should be something daily that we should do daily, but many of us don't do it daily. I still eat fish. And every now and then I still eat chicken, but I do. That's me. This is my walk, okay? And can nobody, people have their opinions, and that's fine, but it has not stopped me on my spiritual growth. That's the point I'm trying to make, because I always say it's not man who qualifies, but it's Source God, which sits high and looks down low and sees everything that we do. But I truly believe it's what we do in secret. The Source really rewards us, because we can say a lot of things on these cameras, but it's what we do in secret that Source sees, and Source is pleased with us, But many people look at it as though, watch what you eat, and you are defiling yourself. You are not so much to watch what you eat, but you are defiling yourself by what you eat. And there was a time I was thinking like that too. We are defiling ourselves by what we eat, because even the word speaks about things that we should eat and things that we shouldn't eat, okay? But also, a lot of things were taken out of the word. Cause I also saw some scriptures in Thomas. It said something, to me, like it was contradicting, because like I said, there are a lot of books that was taken out of the word also. But like I said, I always heard that, it's what we eat that defiles us, but actually it's what comes out of our mouth that defiles us. A lot of people are vegans. A lot of people eat fruits, nuts, and berries. They don't eat no meat, and that's fine. That's where they are. That's fine. Wonderful. Bravo to get to that place of not eating meats at all. I think that's wonderful. But what's the point of eating healthy and not eating no meats, but what come out of your mouth is defiling? You talking negative, you down your brothers and sisters, you're doing all of this, speaking death, speaking negative. That's what defiles us. I read it in Thomas, when Christ, these are like other books that were taken out of the word, where Christ was saying it's not what you eat that defiles you, but it's what comes out of your mouth. And I thought about it, I said, that makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And I see now why I felt so conflicted before, because I was like, a lot of people, be saying don't eat meats. And I do agree with that. But like I said, it's a process for me, but I will get there, but it would be in my timing. It won't be in man's time. It's going to be in my timing. But still, it has not hindered me as far as the spiritual growth that I'm on presently. It's the Most High God, and I'm humbled by it. It's the Most High God that has qualified me to be able to be where I am, so I can speak my truth and my testimony. But I've had many spiritual, the things I've been able to experience. Many people feel like, well, how is it she's able to experience the things she's been able to experience and she still eat meat? And I get this a lot, because many people eat fruit, nuts, and berries, and they eat from the earth, but their third eye is not awakened. Let me just say, the spiritual eyes, their spiritual sight is not awakened, nor have they had a kundalini. The way I look at it, everybody's not going to have the same experiences, okay? Everybody's different, but everybody will have an experience. But I cannot tell you why some people don't eat meat and they're still not spiritually evolving the way that they feel that they should be evolved, shall I say. Like I said, it's not man, it's source, God, that qualifies. But what's for you is for you. And if you want it bad enough, I say pray about it, you know. But when I read the book of Thomas, and you can, family, you can go on YouTube, type in, you know, the book of Thomas, and just listen to it. It's one of the teachings when Christ was speaking, but, you know, he said, you know, it's not what you eat that defiles you, it's what come out of your mouth that defiles you. And even the word, they was eating fish, you know, when he fed those thousands of people and all of that, you know, he multiplied fish. Okay, so let's just see it for what it is, you know. But I do understand where everybody's coming from, how we shouldn't eat animals. And it's not my intention that, yeah, I want to eat animals. It's still, this is just one of the, let me just say, the things that I'm working on. I'm a work in progress, but still the Most High God has, by his grace, has, you know, still allowed me to have the experiences that I have been able to have. That lets you know with God, all things are possible. You know, we get so caught up in what man say, but what do source say? You know, anybody can say anything about you, but how do source see you? You know, especially in secret. How do source see you in secret when nobody's around? What are you doing when nobody's around? You know, are you actually being diligent, seeking? Are you actually being diligent to having a relationship with source? See, nobody knows your beginning. All they see is the now, but they don't know your beginning. That's why people do a lot of judging, because they don't see your walk, you know. And I used to judge. I used to be very judging. So I'm not going to judge nobody who do judge, because I used to be very judging, but I'm not like that anymore, you know, because it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me to look outside of myself, worry about what everybody else is doing when I'm not focusing on myself. I have a lot of shadow levels of myself when I go within that I have to work on, because a lot of things do surface, and I'm like, I thought that I was over that, you know, but I see I need to send love and healing to my shadow self, which would transmute, you know, those shadow parts of me that I used to be ashamed of, that I felt if somebody knew I would be judged of. You know, this is a time to really love on yourself and to heal, if you know what I mean. All of this is going to help raise your vibration, family. Looking outside of ourselves, and we see a lot of things. I see a lot of things I don't agree with, but I love people from where they are. That's the difference. And when I used to go in church, and I was real religious. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, you look at the word and you see how other people are living, and you judge. You're like, you know. And when you do this right here, you're looking down on them because you feel like they're not operating in this book. But who are we to judge? We need to be focusing on ourselves and get right. And I notice when you start to focus on yourself, love yourself, and work on your shadow self, you see things differently. It's like you look at them with love and compassion, and you pray for them, because talking about people is not going to solve anything. But loving on them enough to pray for them, you know, just basically love them from where they are. That's all. Let Source, the Most High, deal with them, you know, and he will deal with, he, she, Abba Mama, Abba Father, will deal with you in the most loving way, because the word say, whom the Lord loves, he corrects. And Source corrected me. When I was being corrected, you know, I was by myself. You know, my mom couldn't help me. My daddy couldn't help me, because I was dealing with spiritual warfare. But something beautiful happened out of it, you know, by me being in darkness, you know, because my mind wasn't right. I was thinking negative, you know. I was too busy looking at myself, looking at other people and pointing fingers. You get what I'm going with this. This was the old Corinth, you know. And also, I used to look outside of myself, seeing other people things that I wasn't seeing in myself. So that's jealousy. You know, I was dealing with that too. But out of the Most High God working with me, you know, something beautiful came out of it. You know, I saw a light, you know, and ever since I saw this light, he's been dealing with me. I see things differently. I see people differently now. You know, a lot of people are dealing with strongholds. They're dealing with attachments, and a lot of times this is what's affecting a lot of people, you know. But this is spiritual talk. I mean, if you're watching me, you understand what I'm talking about. A lot of people are dealing with strongholds, and they're dealing with attachments, and a lot of this can affect us a lot of this can affect us. Even soul ties, dealing with people, having sex with different people, and you haven't cut those soul ties. All of this can affect us. You'd be surprised. A lot of people have issues, and a lot of people have a lot of darkness around them. And when you connect with them, their energy rubs off on you. And all we see is we look at a person, we want to judge them. But you have to see the whole big picture. But little do we know, we still need to work on ourselves and heal. Heal the inner child, love on that inner child, that is within us. Just love your shadow self, face your shadow selves, and love your shadow self. When you love your shadow self, you're healing it. You might not agree with your past, like how you was in the past, or your thought process in the past, but you're loving on yourself. You're taking the time to acknowledge it, acknowledging your shadow selves, okay? And the fact that you're loving on your shadow self, you're transmuting it and you're healing it, transmuting it with your light by acknowledging it and you loving it. And all of this, cause a chain reaction within yourself, and all those all those different levels of your shadow selves, is being transmuted, and you would know because all of a sudden, you would just change. You would just change and you start feeling good about yourself, as well as when you see other people, as far as those things about them. It's like a mirror image, but those things about the other person that you're seeing that you might not like or you might not agree with, you're going to see them in a different light. You're going to love them from where they are, okay? Because you know that you too had to love you, okay? Even those things in the past that, you don't agree with now, or you might feel ashamed of, but you taking the time to love and heal thyself, going within, because a lot of time we focus on, a lot of time we want to focus on the positive things about us because we have changed, okay? But we are still not to ignore those areas of us that we have overcome. We need to go back. That's what the healing comes in. We need to go back, go within ourselves, praying. You can pray or meditate. Meditate is a wonderful therapy. Go back and face your shadow self. A lot of people don't want to do that. They do not want to do that, because it's painful for many, and they just don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people have trauma in their life. The mind have a way of protecting you to where it blocks out the trauma. But you'll be amazed when you're able to just meditate. And you set your intentions, even if you can't remember those things that hurt you so bad, and those things that caused trauma to you, even if you cannot remember them, still, set your intentions in meditation to focus on love and healing, all of you. Say, I love myself for one thing. Say, I love myself. I love all of me, even my shadow self. Because the Most High God loves you, and He loved you back then too, when you wasn't so, well, let me just say this, when your light was dim. The Most High God loved you. He loved you then, and He loves you now. Just like people we see now, that may not be in a good place. A lot of people that we see now, their lights are dim. Love them from where they are, because the Most High God loves them. And they got time to change. They got time to change, but it's a matter of choice. They have to want to change, okay? They have to want to change. And the Most High God have a way of getting your attention. Let me just say that. Now, I'm through with that. All I'm saying is this is just a wonderful time to really just work on yourself. That's all I'm saying, family. And focus on the now, be in the present, and don't worry about tomorrow, okay? Do the healing work now. Because you'd be surprised, that which you are putting in to yourself, the love and the healing to yourself. Let me just say this, even though we shouldn't worry about tomorrow, your tomorrow will be much brighter if it's meant for you to be in it. It would be much brighter, all right? You would think more clearly, and you would see things more clearly, all right? But it starts with you. It starts with me. So like I said, this will be a wonderful time to really reflect. That's all I'm saying. And spend time with your loved one. Do the thing that you always wanted to do, but you didn't have time, But anyway, but that's my take on when it comes to food and all of that. I like I said, I still eat fish. Yes, I do, and I still eat chicken every now and then. But lately I haven't been eating as much chicken. But when I do eat meat, I eat fish. I love fish. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it has not hindered my experiences and my relationship with the source, as well as my vibration. It has not hindered that, because when I go within myself, that lets me know where I stand in the spirit realm. Excuse me, I apologize for belching. I see good things. I see good things, okay? And that's my truth. I see good things. I don't see low vibrational things. I see good things. And even if I happen to see something that might alarm me, I'm not going to operate in fear, because I learn to master myself. You know what I do? I say, I see you with love. I see you with love. Hint, love. Love transmutes the darkness. The darkness cannot stay in the light, nor does it care for the light. And it fades out. It doesn't want no parts of my love. So with that being said, I hope that helped somebody. Let me share this with you real quick, and then I'm going to end this video. I have a family member that I haven't talked to in 3 years, and we had a good conversation. My family member, let me just say this, they are too becoming more spiritual, but I have definitely noticed it's like a division in this so-called, it's definitely a division in the conscious community. I definitely picks up on that, because everybody thinks differently, and there's nothing wrong with thinking differently, but we shouldn't condemn those who think different from us. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's how I see things. Everybody sees things differently. A lot of people choose just condemn and put people down because they don't think the way they think. But I'm not there anymore. But I used to be like that. But what I mean by that is, this family member still go to church, and that's fine, because I grew up going to church. I don't attend church anymore. I'm not in that box anymore. But this family member is, and also this family member of mine have come in. The Most High God has blessed this family member of mine to be able to interpret dreams, and I think that's a beautiful, wonderful gift. Because I'm a seer, and I see things, and I also have dreams, but I haven't yet been able to like interpret my dreams the way this family member of mine has been able to do. But what I do, I stay in my lane. I'm a seer, and I just know things. But for the most part, this family member of mine, we was talking about, because we ain't seen each other in a while, and we were talking about, all the experiences we have had as far as the Most High God has been dealing with us, right? And so I said, well, make a long story short, I said, well, I just had a spiritual awakening, and I've had it a while back, but I just didn't share it with you. I kept it to myself, and I was just really going through some things, I had like a breakdown, a dark night of the soul, and the more I was talking, my family member got real quiet, right? They got real quiet. And the only reason I was going there was because we got on spiritual topics, because they were telling me about how, the Most High God, blessed them with a gift of being able to read dreams, okay? Well, interpret dreams, I say that. So I'm like, okay, then, we speak about some spiritual topics, so let me go ahead and, speak on my experiences. So when I had mentioned, well, there was levels to me waking up spiritually, but my third eye had awakened, and and all of a sudden I had a spiritual sight, and they're like, wait, what you say? I said, huh? They said, what you say? I said, my third eye had awakened, and I couldn't even get anything else out. They were like, hold on, stop right there. That's demonic. You shouldn't be talking like that. I was like, excuse me? I say, what I'm saying is my spiritual sight. They said, well, that's okay. You can say spiritual sight, but don't say third eye. And I said, okay. I see right now, I'm not going to argue with nobody. I'm not going to argue with nobody, because God is the author of confusion. I said, well, let me say this real quick. I say we all have a pineal gland. They say, well, okay, I know about that and stuff, but that third eye and stuff, that's that Illuminati stuff. That's the stuff these, basically what I'm trying to say is like, it's like witchcraft and a lot of these celebrities be talking about third eye and signal, and use these signals with their hands and all that. Pretty much, their interpretation of the third eye is evil. Let me just say that. I was like, okay, so instead of me, trying to explain myself, I didn't want to come off trying to be right. Because a lot of people want to come off trying to be right. And when they get like that, they don't hear you. They do not hear you. All they want to do is hear their voice. So I was like, okay. I said, listen, it's okay to agree to disagree. But let me just say this real quick. That's just a term I was just using. But what what I'm speaking of is my spiritual sight. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Just say your spiritual sight. Don't say third eye. I said, okay. I didn't want to argue. Now when it comes to stuff like that, because, everybody's interpretation is different. To me, it's all the same. That's just to me, okay? They're just different terms. It's how a person chooses to just perceive the word third eye, but all I was saying is just the spiritual sight. My spiritual sight had awakened. And I didn't even get a chance to start talking about the Kundalini. Had I talked about that, oh, you're talking about the serpent, you're talking about the serpent. So, the point I'm trying to make is, when it comes to certain topics, family, things that you're going through, spiritual things you're going through, if you find a family member that you feel like you can talk to, and they actually have a listening ear, and they will hear you out, and they won't judge you, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. But for the most part, stick to a community, a spiritual like-minded community who gets you, who have a listening ear. Now, people can have a listening ear and they still won't accept everything that you're saying, because everybody have a right to their opinions. That's fine. But I also notice when it comes to the spiritual community, it's a lot of division there as well. Because you have this part of the spiritual community that, as far as they're concerned, they rather rely on a so-called prophet to be led by, looking at them as the man of God or the woman of God or a pastor, as far as receiving guidance. But if you're somebody that have a gift of the spirit and just this knowing, you're very intuitive, whatever the case may be, they won't look at it as that way. They might look at it, well, you're dealing with familiar spirits. And you're like, I know what familiar spirit is, but I also know where I stand on the inside. I know how to, receive discernment for myself. It's like people would just, if they don't really understand your walk, your experiences, if they can't relate, they would take it and run with it in fear mode due to what they don't understand, and they will judge you. That's the point I'm trying to make. So please stick with spiritual like-minded brothers and sisters who gets you, because we are living in a time that you can have family members that will just instead of them, they're going to love you for where you are, but they're going to distance themselves, okay? Because they're going to find you strange. They're going to find you strange. And I'm not saying this family member's going to find me strange, but, I threw them off when I spoke from that term, And because they was like, do your research about it. I'm like, oh, I know it's a lot of books written, but little do they know, I've seen things within myself I have not read in a book. I'm not saying that they're not in a book, but I'm just trying to let them know I'm having my own experiences. You can't take that from me. Just like I can't take your experiences from you. But still, when you be mindful when you're talking to certain family members, if you're speaking and hold on, family. I'm sorry I got distracted. But if you feel the need, you want to talk to somebody, seek out spiritual like-minded brothers and sisters who have a listening ear and it gets you. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. Because this walk can be very lonely. It can be very lonely. And, if you don't have nobody to talk to, like a family member, it's sad. Even your spouse is sad. Unfortunately, I would hope that you would get somebody that's, that gets you if you want to have a partner. But if not, that can be very lonely too. It's like you are in a relationship, but you still feel lonely because you cannot talk to your partner. But the point I'm trying to make is give a spiritual like-minded brothers and sisters who gets you. That's all I'm saying. If you feel like you can't talk to a family member because you don't really want your family member to see you in a way as so strange that they want to distance themselves from you, because a lot of times it could be out of fear, because they might think you practice witchcraft or blah, 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 But, yeah, I thought I would throw that at there with many of you. But, I respect my family member. I respect their opinions, different from mine when it comes to certain things, because I'm there now. I'm at that place where I can be there. The old Corinth would argue with you back and forth, because I'm trying to make my point. I'm trying to be right, make my point. And I like peace. I like peace more than anything. I'd rather have peace and be quiet and just let you talk until you can't talk no more in order for there to be peace instead of trying to be right. Because, I don't have to keep talking just to hear myself. I can listen to you, but the old Corinth, oh no, the old Corinth try to out talk you and everything and try to be right. But no, it's a time to be still and to reflect and see things for what it is. And that can be the enemy way also of trying to throw you off. It can be through family members. Let me just say that, You say the wrong thing, a family member can take it and run with it. Before you know it, y'all back and forth arguing, And these are the people that are in your circle. They're in your circle, So please be mindful of that. The enemy, spiritual wickedness in high places can use anybody. Because you don't know really where a person is vibrationally in the present. And if they're not fully, let me just say, if they're not vibrating on a higher frequency, let me just say, if for whatever reason, they can be depressed and they're talking to you, and you don't even know they have attachments to them, they're all low vibrational, and, that can be causing them to want to act out towards you. So, be mindful of that. And I'm not saying this about that family member. It can be anybody. Just be mindful, guard yourself, and see things for what it is. But to avoid all of the confusion, just stick with spiritual, like-minded brothers and sisters who gets you. Okay? And that's another reason why I started making these videos, because it's therapy for me. And I know by me speaking, the Most High God, the universe is going to lead people to me that are on the spiritual path that I'm on, and they got somebody to talk to because they are too having experiences, and we can relate. It's strength in community, and it's definitely safety. Let me just say that. But it's really sad when you have these experiences. You can feel so alone. Cause like I said, if you have nobody to talk to, and I would advise many of you. We have loved ones, but just watch what come out of your mouth, I tell you. And the thing about it, you have a right to express yourself because you're grown. You have a right to, speak your truth. But when it comes to falling out and lowering your vibration, just trying to, speak your opinion by trying to be right, it's like they have their opinion, you have yours, but you're like, no, this is how it should be. All I know is this is my walk. This is my truth, and can nobody take it from me. And my motto is let's agree to disagree. That's my motto. But I'm going to keep my peace. I'm going to hold my peace. God, I see what the enemy is trying to do. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I hope this helped with many of you, because I'm sure, many of you, you're putting the work in, you're meditating, you're doing something right. Let me just say that. You're doing something right, okay? When you're trying to work on yourself and love on yourself, here comes the enemy. The enemy got all kinds of tricks, okay, up its sleeves, and it try to find your weakness, and it try to throw all kinds of things at you to get you off your path, get you off your purpose, because your future is so bright. And I say this in my community posts. If many of you, your future is so bright, so be mindful, as far as you trying to build yourself and raise your vibration, because the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and it can use anybody. It can use anybody. That's the point I'm trying to make, okay? And unfortunately, it can be people who are close to you. But see for what it is, and keep loving on your loved ones. Respect their walk, okay? Just like they should respect yours, respect their walk. It's okay to agree to disagree, but it's nothing like peace. Peace be still to you. No need to argue, trying to be right. You know your truth. Stand on your truth. All right? So with that being said, I love you in Christ. I thank you for, rocking with your sister thus far. I thank you for your love and supporting my channel. I'm getting ready to go back in. And yeah, be still. Be still. And be present.